Hello everybody and welcome back to Expert Examiner IELTS. My name is Glyn and in this video we have one final writing check. Of course I will go back and do some more writing checks in the future, but not this month. But there was one person who wrote to me a little bit late and asked me to check their writing. So yeah, let's have a look at it. Of course, as always, we start by reading the question. What is the main theme? What is the question type? Some people think that competition at work, at school, and in daily life is a good thing. It's a lot of things there, at work, at school, and in daily life. Others believe that we should try to cooperate more rather than competing against each other. Okay. So the key question here is, let's take a look at the main question, sorry. Discuss both of these views and give your own opinion. Okay, so we have two opposing views here, right? Is it better to kind of be competitive, to try to win, for everybody to try to be number one? There are people who believe that. Why? We need to explore that. What are some reasons why people believe that, fighting against each other, battling to be number one, whether it's at work, at school, or in daily life, why that's a good thing? So what is the benefit of competition? Others believe we should try to cooperate more. So again, what is the benefit of cooperation? What is the benefit, instead of for us all to try to be number one, what is the benefit if we all work together and try to help each other to make sure that we are all, doing well? You could think of it as individualism versus collectivism, or capitalism versus communism, but we don't need to go into economics here or politics, just in general. Competition versus cooperation. Now they do mention at work, at school, and in daily life, but I don't think you'll have enough room to fit all of those things in there. So for me, those things at work, at school, and in daily life are just for our consideration. Okay, so of course, discuss both sides and give your own opinion. This should be an easy structure. Paragraph 1, an introduction, a general statement about competing and cooperating. I want to see the candidate's position here too. So in the introduction, I want to know what they believe, and I want to know, but I don't need to know why yet. Body paragraph 1, why is competition good? Why do some people say that competition is good? Body paragraph 2, why is cooperation good? Or why do some people say cooperation is good? And then in the conclusion, we will get more information on the candidate's opinion, what they believe and why. Pretty easy. Let's see what we get. People have different views as to whether, really like this, as to whether, very good stuff. People have different views as to whether competition is an important feature at work, school, and daily life. Yeah, that kind of is. Yeah, it is connected. While it is true that there are obvious advantages to having competition in certain places, I believe that collective identity and cooperation are more significant. Okay, collective identity is different here. So it's not talking about the benefits of having a collective identity. It's talking about cooperation. And we can still cooperate even if we have very different identities, right? So we could think of us as having the same identity, like I am a Welsh person and I am a fan of Newcastle United football team, and that's my identity, and we should all have that same identity. But that isn't what this question is asking. It's about cooperation. So a society that cooperates could be you have Welsh people and English people and French people and Syrian people and Australian people and Italian people. We all have different identities. Man United, Newcastle fans, Arsenal fans, but we can all work together instead of fighting against each other. So it's not really about collective identity. So that's just slightly off topic. And cooperation are more significant. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I'd like to hear something like, this essay will explore reasons why people believe those things. Maybe a sentence like that might be useful. But okay, we get to know what the candidate's position is, and that's good. In general, the work is very accurate. Ideas are very simple and easy to understand. We have a nice fronted conjunction with while, so good subordination there. While it is true that there are obvious advantages to having competition in certain places, I believe that cool. So grammatically strong, vocab decent ideas, straightforward, just this one minor irrelevance. Okay, so let's see why competition is a good thing, according to this candidate. Proponents really like this. Proponents, very good. Proponents of a competitive environment cite various reasons. Okay, fine. Cite a little bit wordy, but fine. Cite various reasons to support their stance. Okay, nice noun here. Gone are the days. Okay, I'm not sure if this is very academic, gone are the days, but it's certainly a very nice participle clause. Gone are the... Oh, sorry, I'm going to put green there. Gone are the days when people... We don't need past perfect here. Gone are the days when people stayed in one position or job until their deaths. That isn't really connected to cooperation or competition here. I don't see the relevance of this at all. Maybe it will be explained. Gone are the days when people stayed in one position or job until their deaths. Is there really a difference between position and job? I don't know. As the current generation who gained valuable knowledge, international qualifications. Okay, now we're having some problems with coherence here. So gone are the days when people stayed in one position or job until their deaths. As the current generation, okay, non-defining relative clause, who gained valuable knowledge, international qualifications. So there's a problem with the punctuation here. Do we want maybe an and here? Maybe that would make it a bit easier to understand, right? Who gained valuable knowledge and international qualifications. Yeah, so I think that and is necessary. Otherwise, it's so difficult to read. So let's take this out and see if it makes sense. As the current generation has faith in suggesting competition to older generation for job replacements. I have no idea what you mean here. I could try to reread it again, I guess. The current generation has faith in suggesting competition to older generations for job replacements. No idea what that means at all. Sorry. Sorry if that sounds rude, but I don't know. This transformation has changed individuals' thoughts. So problem with article here. Are you talking about plural? If it's individuals plural, then no article is needed, but we must put the apostrophe after. So, here it should be an individual's thoughts, or if it's plural, individuals' thoughts, right? So take a look at that apostrophe after the S. Yeah, so learning how to use apostrophes or learning how to use articles will help you there. So this transformation has changed individuals' thoughts, visions of the world towards the job market. But, okay. Again, there's no and. When we list things in English, we need to use and before the last item. Doesn't matter if it's a list of 2 or 3, right? I like football and tennis. Not, I like football, tennis. Or, I bought a hat, some shoes, and a new coat. Not, I bought a hat, some shoes, a new coat. So when we make lists in English, we need this and. We really need this and. It's so confusing in English to read a list without an and. We get very lost reading it. Right? This transformation has changed individuals' thoughts, visions of the world towards job market, full stop. So, I don't know about using so to start a sentence. It's fine in speech, but in academic text, using so. So, individuals cannot feel at ease when it comes to job security. Okay. A good case in point is Twitter, where many employees were fired from the company due to poor performance and a lack of valuable skills in computer technology when Elon Musk bought it completely. Okay, there might be a point to be made about competition leading to ruthlessness or people not having job security because anyone can come and take your job in a highly competitive labor market. I guess that's the writer's central point. But the example that they've given to explain this, while I kind of understand it, I don't feel like I don't feel like the argument is well explained, well developed, and well supported. So this is a weak paragraph. Okay. Despite these arguments, in my view, why do we have in your view here? This isn't where we want your view. We want your view in the end. We want to know what proponents of cooperation believe. That's what, and you might be one of those people, but it should be presented as a discussion of both views first, right? So you have your one paragraph here where you talk about proponents of competitive environment. And now here we want to see, again, not personal language, not in my view, in my opinion, I am of the belief that. We don't want to see that. We want, again, to see something like proponents of the opposing view or opponents to the competitive mindset or something like that. But okay. Despite these arguments, in my view, cooperation and improved connections between staff play an important role in work environment. So in the work environment or in the working environment or in a working environment. Now it is common. Yeah, so I'm going to just make that red. 1 second. All right. Now, it is common to see that big companies and large organizations are prioritizing collaboration, teamwork, and better connections between workers over competition environment in the workplace. Okay, so prioritize one thing over another thing, or prioritizing over a competitive environment maybe, or over increased competition in the workplace, but I don't know about competition environment together. It sounds, Google says it sounds strange too. This definitely benefit as a noun or verb here. If it's a verb, this definitely benefits. If it is a noun, this definitely has a benefit, not only on companies but also employees. When individuals work together on big projects and also employers create a better work environment, each member of this group forms, so each person does something. It's like he, she, it, each member, he, she, it, member forms better relationships among them, among each other maybe, among themselves, thus leading to, okay, good little use of thus leading to improvements in company sales and overall. Okay, this is a stretch. You haven't proven this at all. You can't. I don't think it's enough. I don't think you can get away with that in an academic essay, can you? Lots of companies nowadays, they prioritize collaboration, leading to improvements in company sales and overall workers' performance. I don't, even if that is true, and I don't know if it is necessarily, but even if that is true, you haven't demonstrated it in that paragraph, so I'm not persuaded by that point. But at least this point is more understandable. I know, I'm still not fully informed. I only know, if I had to paraphrase the candidate's argument here in body paragraph 2, I would say, bigger companies nowadays, they prioritize collaboration. They don't want this competitive market. They don't want, this competitive attitude at work. They focus on people working together, and because of that, they have better sales, and people work better, and individuals feel better. I can kind of understand their point. Okay, in conclusion, although competition offers a number of advantages, such as personal growth, obtaining foreign certificates, This, remember, the conclusion should be a summary of what you've spoken about. You haven't spoken about personal growth, have you? You didn't speak about personal growth here. You didn't speak about obtaining foreign certificates here. So I don't know why suddenly now you are introducing these new ideas. The conclusion is not the place to introduce new ideas. But okay, I firmly believe that teamwork and better work environment and a better work environment brings... A better work environment brings... So we have so many mistakes with the third person present simple S here. So yeah, it's such a basic thing to get right. Brings long-term benefits for both companies and people. Okay, so the conclusion is short, sharp, to the point. It's not really a summary of the ideas that they've made, but at least they have restated their opinion. Okay, let's get into marks here. I'll take this off. Okay, marks. Task response. I'm going with 5. So I don't... The introduction is pretty strong, and it's, you know, a little bit short, but introduction is pretty strong. But the body paragraphs, in terms of, you know, the target reader being fully informed, nah. In body paragraph 1, the target reader is barely informed on the idea. Body paragraph 2, with some interpretation, the reader can kind of work out what the candidate's position is, or what the candidate's writing means here. And the conclusion doesn't really offer a summary of the points that they mentioned. Instead, they introduce new things like personal growth and also obtaining foreign certificates. And for me, foreign certificates, you know, it could be anything. Are we talking about foreign birth certificates? Are we talking about foreign certificates from universities, or foreign certificates to show that you, I don't know, don't have a health problem, or foreign certificates to say that you completed a programming course? What is this foreign certificate? I have no idea. Yeah, so task response 5. Coherence and cohesion. Okay, so again, coherence is brought down just by the kind of a mix of language and ideas. So again, there's an overlap between this task response, like how informed am I about the candidate's position and the candidate's explanation of these different, or discussion of these different viewpoints, and I'm not very informed, in part because they are poorly or strangely supported, but also in part because the language is just a little bit strange. You know, we get these problems with the cohesion, linking it together because of this lack of and in lists, which makes it really confusing. The ideas are also just odd. Gone are the days when people had stayed in one position for job until their death. Stayed in one position or job until their deaths, as the current generation has faith in suggesting competition. So, yeah, cohesion. You know, what good things can I say about cohesion? Well, we start with general statement about people, fine, and then we get into it while to balance the two different positions, fine, and then we get into I believe, which is natural, right? You have general statement, then bit of a contrast, showing the two different views, and then showing the opinion. That's good cohesion. We start, the paragraphs are in a logical order, starting with proponents. Very easy to understand what they're talking about. I don't see too many cohesive devices, like specifically linkers or conjunctions or conjunctive adverbs. You know, those words like however, additionally, furthermore, or conjunctive phrases like that is to say, or with regards to, or as a result. I don't see a lot of those. We do get the despite these arguments, so despite is a good bit of cohesion there. That's fine, and that's a good way to start that new paragraph. Again, signposting language saying we are moving on from the previous one, and now we're going to contrast it. So that's good. Bit of so good, like substitution or reference here with this definitely benefits, referring to the prioritizing collaboration and so on. So there is evidence of some decent cohesion in there. I think there might be enough. There might be enough for 6. The cohesion is good. Coherence is lacking in some places, but maybe there is enough for 6 for cohesion. Lexical resource. Okay, so there is some good stuff in there. Some of it's strange, like collective identity is not really getting to the point here. Oh, they did mention. Sorry. They did mention international qualifications here, and then they get back to it later. There, obtaining foreign certificates, I guess, is a connection to international qualifications. So that is somehow linked. Valuable knowledge, that's a good collocation. Gain valuable knowledge, that's showing an awareness of style and collocation. Using so is a bit informal. Okay. Improved connections seems a bit strange. Improved relations may be better. A lot of like fixed expressions or fixed phrases connected to work, like the working environment or something like that. I guess that's more about grammar with articles, so maybe later. Definitely is a booster. Okay, it's quite simplified. Employees, target specific language connected to work. Cool. Employers, cool. Improvements. Yeah, maybe there is actually personal growth. That's a very nice collocation, very natural. I don't know if it's really appropriately used here, but the candidate certainly shows an awareness of a lot of good collocations. Job market, for example. Yeah, so I think if I'm generous, I think there can be enough for a 7 for lexical resource. Grammatical range and accuracy, we're certainly not awarding the 7 for this. Third person S, present simple mistakes, you have to fix them. It's as simple as that. I like, you like, he likes. I go, you go, this goes. I prefer, you prefer, it prefers. You have to know that little rule with S. I know it's easy to forget, especially in speech, but in your writing, you really should time it, right? You have to plan your work, you have to write your work, and really important, you have to check your work at the end, and that's where you should find these mistakes with S. So yeah, really look for that. Okay, any other major problems? There are problems with articles. But I think there is enough for a 6. So yeah, not enough for a 7 for sure because of those basic mistakes. But a variety of sentence types. No, not many mistakes that I would say critically affect or critically confuse the reader. So probably 6. So what do we have overall? We have 5, 6, 6, 7. So overall that gives the candidate 6.0 for their writing. Things to work on. It sounds repetitive. I say the same thing. Be careful. So first of all, be careful with present simple grammar. You really have to check and find these mistakes in your own writing. I'm sure, the candidate is demonstrating very good language knowledge here. So I'm sure that cognitively the candidate knows the rules with present simple. It's just that when they write, they just forget it sometimes, right? So this is what check. You won't find all of your mistakes because you don't know all of the grammar, but you know present simple grammar, and so you really, really should find those mistakes. Other things to work on. So the structure is good. You follow a 4-paragraph structure. It's logical, but your ideas really have to be more, and it's tough, relevant to the question. What do I mean here? Well, in body paragraph 1, the focus seems to be that, the focus in body paragraph 1 is tough to understand, but it seems to be a generational thing. In the past, people had job security, but now young people, because they have valuable knowledge, they are removing this job security. For example, Elon Musk took over Twitter and a lot of people lost their jobs. Now, that isn't an example. Elon Musk taking over Twitter isn't an example of young people gaining knowledge and international qualifications. So that example doesn't really back it up. So your ideas really have to be more relevant to the question, and try to keep your ideas simple. It's the number one piece of advice that I think every examiner, every teacher gives candidates. Keep your ideas simple. Some people have written and asked me, like, can I make a video to talk about like what it means to keep ideas simple? Here I would say I guess I could make a video on that, but what are some simple ideas? Well, I like to brainstorm ideas. Maybe I'll keep that for another video. Actually, I'll keep it for another video. How I create ideas, and then how I select the simplest ideas. But I won't go into it now because we're running a little bit late. So yeah, overall 6.0. Catch your own mistakes to improve your grammatical range and accuracy. Your vocab is very, very good. Your natural language skills are very, very good. Keep your ideas simple so that we understand, improving your coherence, and also make sure that your answers are relevant to the question, which we'll talk about, which will improve your score for task response. Yeah, so I don't think I'll do any more writing checks this month, at least. I might do some more videos. I think I will do some more videos on writing where I write some tasks myself, and maybe I'll do some explanation videos about. I think most people know about structure, and there are so many other sources out there like Advantage IELTS and IELTS Liz and IELTS Jackie, and so many sources out there that I don't really need to make that content because it exists out there. But I might think of some like instructional videos of how to do some of these writing tasks. But mostly at the moment I am still doing free mock speaking tests at the moment. So if you'd like to have feedback on your speaking, do get in touch. Information of how to contact me is written below. I was planning to do some stuff on listening this month, but I think I will push that back to August. But I will keep you all informed about any plans for this channel. But yeah, for now I'll leave it there. Hopefully this feedback on the writing was informative in some way. But have a wonderful evening, day, weekend, whatever. Bye bye.